Guess who's back in the house? This is your host, Chanel number 5, and I'm so glad that you are here today for Nellyville, the podcast. This is season 4, episode 7. So you guys, do you know what that means? There's only like 3 more, and then we got to take another break. But don't cry, I will be back for season 5. I am live once again with the TikTok family. So TikTok fam, and I'll tell them what you said. Okay, you guys, I hope your week is going well. I hope your Thanksgiving was great, but I am ready to get into the tea. Okay, congratulations are in order. First thing I want to talk about Miss Megan Thee Stallion. Hello, Megan Thee Stallion. Have y'all heard the news? She was the first black woman on the cover of Forbes magazine for 30 under 30. You know what I'm saying? This is a big deal. Now, it is a bummer that we are still in 2022, and we are still talking about the first black this, the first female that, the first. You would think that by now, all of the first would have been covered, especially with, you know what I'm saying? Pause. One of the, what are we saying here? You know, I'm the face of the city. That's why you mad. I don't know what that means, but yes, gaga, okay? So anyways, all right. So for my listeners, you're going to hear me interact with my TikTok family from time to time. Don't be alarmed. If you want to be a part of the live recording, join me on Wednesdays. For those of you who are just tuning in, all of the recorded podcasts go up on Friday. So let's get back to Miss Megan Thee Stallion. How great it is that she is the first black woman on the cover, and I'm so excited for her. It's a song lyric. I figured it was, but baby, you know, look, I'm getting old, you know what I'm saying? I don't know all the lyrics, honey, you know, but I appreciate you chiming in with the lyrics. Yes, honey. Okay, so speaking of Megan Thee Stallion, we are still in the middle of this case with her and Tory Lanez. So we all know the story. Tory Lanez allegedly shot Megan twice in both of her feet, and it's divided the whole internet. Some people think he did it. Some people think she's full of crap. What do you guys think? For those of you who are in here, listeners, come find me. Send me a message. Let me know. Do you think Tory Lanez did it? Because I'm about to tell you what I think. I'm about to tell you, and baby, you might not like what I have to say. Look, I love Megan dearly. I think she is a great artist. I think that she's a beautiful young woman. She's very talented. She's great. I love her. I'm a huge fan. Do y'all see where this is going? But I have to say, I am having a hard time believing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm having a hard time believing that Tory Lanez shot her. I know, as a black woman, I know what I'm saying. I understand the weight of what I'm saying. But I'm not saying that he didn't do it. I'm just saying that the whole situation seems very shady. I feel like a lot of the facts are missing. And when you're dealing with these Kardashian people, which is where they were leaving from when this happened, I feel like I think there's a lot more shadiness going on surrounding this than we know, than we will ever know. Maybe all of the truth will come out. I'm just having a hard time to do it. There's just so many holes in the story, and it's hard for me to just turn my back on a black man just as much as I want to support this black woman. I want both of them to win. I really don't know what to believe. If it comes out that he did it, I hope that it's actually true and not some bogus allegation that, you know, he's just going to suffer for when he was actually innocent. But if he did it, I mean, he needs to be punished. I don't think that he did it. I just don't. I'm sorry. I know that is a very unpopular opinion. Hopefully the truth will come out, but I'm going to need a little more ocular proof that the man shot the girl in both feet, because how do you get shot in both feet? And I just feel like the recovery time was really quick. I feel like there's just a lot of parts in the foot that should have been a little more jacked up. Did we ever get pictures? Not that she needs to release pictures, but I'm sorry. I just can't just blindly believe that he did that without more concrete evidence. And maybe I missed it. If anybody has access to this concrete evidence that he did it, please send it to me. But until then, I'm going to stay neutral. And as of right now, I'm not convinced. And that's all I got to say about that. So, speaking of relationships that failed and ended in violence, I want to talk about another very popular couple that has recently kind of stirred the pot a little bit. So, I don't know if y'all have seen this clip, but Michelle Obama has recently done an interview. And there is a clip circulating around where she's talking about her marriage with Barack Obama. And it can be left to interpretation. Some people have heard the clip from Michelle and think that she's saying her marriage is awful, that marriage sucks, that, babe, where have you been? Pause on the Michelle and Barack for a second. I want to go back and revisit Megan. So DJ Rex says, shot in the foot at the same time, babe. Where have you been? Okay? Yes, Megan was shot like pow pow. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly was shot by Tory Lanez. Megan and Tory, baby, go look at the story. People who know the story. They were leaving a party from Kylie Jenner's house or something rather. There's some discrepancy on whether he shot her or her friend shot her. When the police showed up on the scene, she didn't even say nothing about being shot. It's a whole thing. Go look it up. It's a crazy story. Yeah, go look it up. Was she trying to sacrifice him? Baby. Look. I ain't trying to get canceled. And this is some juicy stuff to be talking about on TikTok. Listeners, y'all can't see my face and see what I'm doing, but you can imagine. It's just, that's why I said I think it's some more tea to that story. It's something really shady going on about that. And I won't be told otherwise. I'm not going to turn my back on this black man. Now, I think that Megan is a victim of something too. I don't think it's necessarily her trying to do something wild to Tory Lanez. I think they both got caught up in some wild stuff. And I think it's some dark stuff really going on there. But I ain't going to sit up here and say all that on TikTok or on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to have Illuminati run up on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, let's get back to Michelle and Barack. So, Michelle released this clip and the people are divided because they're like, why after all these years would Michelle come out and say that her marriage sucks with Barack? I didn't get that. When I heard the clip, now go listen to what Michelle had to say. And I encourage you to not only watch the clip, I encourage you to go watch the full video because we know that clips of audio and clips of video can be taken out of context. Listen to the whole clip. You need all of the pieces of information. I personally didn't think that she was saying that her marriage sucked. I think that what she was saying is that, oh my gosh, my phone's ringing. Okay, sorry, my phone was ringing. Okay, I'm back. It's too much going on. Y'all don't want me to see. You mentioned the Illuminati one time and they coming from my whole gig. They shut my computer down and all of that. This is crazy. So I think that what she was saying is that marriage is hard, relationships are hard, and they should not be glamorized. And the negative parts, the rough parts should be a part of the narrative. They should be talked about. They should be normalized. And it is okay that it is hard. It's about how you work through that as a couple. I think that's what she was trying to say. I think that she was trying to shed a light on the fact that people put her and her husband on a pedestal along with some other celebrity couples. You know, you look at these celebrity couples, they seemingly have this perfect marriages, these perfect lives. And I think that she just wanted to break that facade and keep it real with people that, yes, everything may seem hunky-dory on the outside, but we have issues too. And I don't think that she was saying it in a way to bash her husband. I think that she was doing it in a way to give young people hope. I think that she wants to kind of end this pattern that young people just give up. They just throw it all away. The first sign of trouble, and that's just, they're not for me. People are so quick to wipe their hands of their relationships. Now, this is not to excuse disrespect, violence, anything that is affecting your mental health. There's obviously a line. There have to be clean cut boundaries in your relationship, but there is a difference between being just straight up neglected, disrespected, and mistreated. Obviously, don't stay in that. But if it's an argument about toothpaste, if it's a discrepancy about finances on how you're going to spend your money, how are we going to do the holidays? Do we go to your parents' family? Do we go here? How do you parent? How do you, what are your values as far, how do you view your religion, education? There's conversations that you should have early on in the relationship so that you can even decide if you want to go further. When you first meet each other, everybody's all, oh, I love you. Oh, I love you too. Oh, you're so cute. No, you're so cute. Oh, kiss me. Okay, yeah, that's cute and all, but what you think about joint bank accounts? Where do you stand on family values? Are you a religious person? Are you a spiritual person? All of these, eventually you need to have these real conversations, and you certainly need to have them before you get married. At the end of the day, you can have all the conversations in the world. You never really know a person. You could be married to somebody for 25 years. You don't know that person. The only person who knows you is you and God. It doesn't matter how much you share. It doesn't matter how much time, how much you pray together. It doesn't matter. What matters is that both of you have to decide that you want to fight for it and that you want to work for it. And I think that's what Michelle's point was, that you're going to run into troubles. There's no such thing as a perfect couple, but you have to both decide that we want to stay together. We want to stay married. We want to get married. And whatever the obstacle is, we have both decided to firmly stand together and work through it and do what we need to do for our family. And that was the takeaway. But people, not everyone, but there's some people who took her statement and was like, wow, well, if they don't have a happy marriage, then none of us have a chance. No. It's just the opposite of that. Everyone's looking for this fairy tale. And you can have a Notebook romance. You can have a Cinderella story. You can have all of these things. But I'm sure Cinderella went through some stuff in that palace. You think she married that man and she just never had to deal with the stepmother or them stepsisters again? You don't think there was never any issue with his parents? And look, it doesn't matter. But the point is, I don't know who's single in here. I don't know who's married. I don't know. But, choose you, right? But also choose your family. Choose your relationship. It has to be a conscious decision. It's going to suck sometimes. It's going to hurt. People are going to get on your nerves. Okay? That feeling, that emotion of love, I've kind of veered off of where I was going to go with this, but I'm on a roll, so let me rant. That feeling of being so in love and all that warm, oh, he's so wonderful, she's so beautiful, that's going to waver. Okay? That's why you have to choose to lean into the action of showing love, because that feeling, that warm and fuzzy, cotton candy, but that don't last every day, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna go away and leave forever. You can still have those butterflies 20, 30 years into marriage. I believe that. I've seen it. It didn't work out for me the first time around, but I believe in love. And I think, next time around, well, we ain't gonna talk about me. We're talking in general. You know what I'm saying? It is a choice. And if you're currently in a relationship or in a marriage and, something is happening that has you shaking in your boots and you think that the end is near, no. It's just one obstacle of many that you will have, but you decide that you're going to work on it, and you're going to be just fine. But it has to be a choice. It has to be a proactive choice that you make. Now, if one of you decides they don't want to fight for it, then you go from there and you start over. But you don't give up. You know what I'm saying? There's more than one person for you out here in this world. If you had a soulmate, if you feel like I lost my first love, or I lost the one, or that one got away, baby, it's billions of people out here. If you think God is not going to send you somebody else, baby, we don't believe in the same God. Our God can do anything. You know what I'm saying? You might have thought that one got away. That don't mean nothing. And it don't make that person bad. It don't make you bad. It just means that y'all weren't right for each other anymore, or at all. You know, sometimes things are just seasonal, and that's okay. Can't always lean on a lot of people. Some will let you fall. Yeah. Absolutely. That's why you gotta lean on God. And to add to that, DJ Rick, you know, your spouse, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say because I gotta move on. I'm running out of time. Your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever, your fiance cannot be your source of joy. I've said this on this podcast before. Your person, your partner, your significant other cannot be your source of happiness. You're happy with your girlfriend? I'm so glad. I'm so happy for you. We're not doing this again this week. We're not doing this again this week. Let me focus, son. So, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? This is so stupid. You can't come here. Man, I'm trying to work, man. Dang. Okay, look. Your significant other can't be your source of joy. God has to be your source. Now, assuming that y'all are believers and you're a Christian or whatever, but whatever you believe in, human beings can't be your source of happiness. Your family, your friends, your spouse, and things may bring joy to you, and that's a beautiful thing. But if all of your happiness, or too much of your happiness and joy or whatever is connected to a human being, you are setting yourself up for so much failure. It does start with the person, absolutely. You are setting yourself up for so much failure if you let your happiness be connected to a person, because people are not perfect and things happen. People pass away. People have a change of heart. Maybe they just don't want to be with you anymore. Maybe a million things can happen. And if your joy is connected to that person, you are going to fall apart. You have to make a conscious decision to not let that happen either. Because it's really easy to, wow, you know, my husband is my everything. My girlfriend is my best friend. She lights up my day. That's my motivation. You can't do that, because as soon as your girlfriend start tripping, or she feel like she want to be in a mood one day, now you at work with attitude because she got attitude. Now you ain't doing what you supposed to be doing, because you like, man, what I do? Why'd I make her cry? What I do? Man, if she got an attitude like Curb, like, make it better, but damn, move on, keep it pushing, do what you got to do. Because let her be her, and woo. Hello, Tom, welcome in. We are in the middle of recording Nellyville the podcast. If you missed the first part, the whole episode will be available on all streaming platforms on Friday. But I'm glad that you came in. We're talking about relationships. We just talked about Michelle and Barack Obama, and we just talked about, you know, just choosing to fight through it. Now, speaking of choices and speaking of relationships, I do want to move on to Giselle and Tom. Okay, we heard about Giselle and Tom. And if you haven't read the articles, you know, read up on it. And, you know, Tom has decided he wants to keep playing football. That's a hard thing to put down. It is. It's something, you know, this is a hard thing that athletes go through. And it's something that you do your entire life. And, you know, it's hard not to get your identity wrapped up into football. But you can't do that, because football doesn't last forever. Now, even though he's going to have a full, great career, whenever he retired, he's going to continue to have some type of career in football off the field. We know this. And I understand where Tom is coming from as far as you're just not done. He knows that once it's over, and even though he has accomplished everything, even though, I mean, he will forever be remembered as one of the greatest of all time. Some people will say the greatest of all time, depending on who you ask. And I understand not wanting to walk off of that field. And if that's really, truly his calling, then I can respect his decision to continue to play. But I really sincerely hope if he's going to walk away, in a sense, if he's going to walk away or allow his wife to walk away over football, I really sincerely hope that it is truly his calling to continue to play, because eventually it will all end. And when that football is gone, it's not going to keep you warm. You know, you're missing out on time and precious moments with your wife, but it's not everybody focus on Gisele. What about the kids? What about the kids? Everybody's focused on the wife. Oh, she should understand. She knew what she signed up for. Duh, hell yeah, she knew what she signed up for. He knew too. I mean, she put her career, she kind of dialed back on her career too for him. So why can't he do the same for her now? But before we get to that, he's missing out on these moments with his kids. He's not only putting football before his wife, but he's putting before the whole family. And I just feel like, man, when you, after this is all over and you got to go, for one, it's going to be a tough transition when you stop. And it's going to be hard enough as it is, but then you're going to have to do it without the love of your life. I mean, maybe he'll find somebody else. I don't know. But you're going to have to go through that transition alone. Those kids aren't going to know you. And you're assuming they're going to want to have anything to do with you. Your kids might be so damaged that they might be like, yeah, what about Antonio, Mahomes? Yeah, it's like, I get it. It's hard, man. It's hard to say that you want to walk away from something that, I mean, that's a big deal. But at what cost? And I just kind of feel like I hope his decision is not coming from a place of pride or a place of, oh, I'm not going to let my wife tell me what to do. Or if it's like an ego thing, I hope not, because, man, that's going to break that man. And that might cause him a pain that he can't come back from. You know, look, Gisele is a beautiful woman. I'm sure she's a great wife and stuff. Don't think, man, that she's going to be sitting around waiting for you. And maybe she will. But you better really be sure that you doing what you want to do, because if you are not sound in that decision time, because that's the only thing that's going to get you through that pain. When it's all said and done, you look around and your family's gone. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. I really mostly feel sorry for the kids. And I will say, we don't know the conversations that they had, you know? But I imagine they talked about when he was going to retire and what the game plan was for the family. If it was something where Tom told Gisele, like, yeah, I'm going to play for this many more years and I'm going to be done, and then he went back on his word, dog, that's some foul stuff right there. That's some foul stuff. If you told your wife that you was going to be done at this time and then you just changed your mind, that's some bull crap. That's some bull. That's some real bull. And I just, yeah, Tom and Antonio are fighting. Yeah, well, yeah, whatever. I can only deal with one chaotic mess at a time. I don't know. Look, I wish Michelle and Barack the best. It seems like they're great. I think Michelle was just keeping it real. And Gisele and Tom, I don't know. I hope they both end up happy, and I hope that the kids can continue to have a substantial, fulfilling relationship with their father. And I don't know. What do y'all think? I mean, that's a hard one. As a football wife, as a wife in general, you know what you sign up for, you know. But when is it his turn to make the sacrifices? A lot of these football wives or athletes' wives, they They put their careers on the back burner to take care of the babies, to take care of home. If that's really your calling, to be a stay-at-home mom or dad, that's great. There's a lot of stay-at-home dads too. That's a beautiful thing, because that shit is hard. It's really, really hard. And if that's what you really want to do, that's great. But if you are someone who put your career on the back burner for the sake of taking care of home, and then that later on in life that same spouse doesn't return that favor, that's a hell of a strain on a marriage and a relationship. I'm sure she made a lot of sacrifices for him. So just like a lot of athletes' wives. So, to throw in the face of, well, she knew what she signed up for. But yeah, I know. But it was also an understanding of, damn, okay, if I'm sacrificing this now, aren't you gonna sacrifice something later? I mean, it ain't gotta be tit for tat, but like, damn, I gotta give up my whole self for it. It's just, man, look. So I'm running out of time, y'all, and I have one more thing that I want to talk about. Actually, you know what? I think I might. Do I want to save that for next week? No, look, I'm gonna power through it. I'm gonna power through it. She gave up Victoria for him. Look. She did give up some things for him. And she still had a career. She didn't disappear. Let's not act like she just went and sat down in a corner somewhere. She still had her limelight moments. But it could have been a whole lot more. But either way, she was still in her bag, and she was still making more money than him. And not that that matters. Not that that matters. I just wanted to point out, I just didn't want to diminish her as a woman or, as a career haver. She still had her shine, but it definitely was subdued in the name of, because of who she married. This larger than life football player. So, Last thing, and this is going to take a jump, but I want to finish on a light note, okay? So I don't know who has kids in here, but think back to when you were a kid yourself. Did you guys believe in Santa? And when you had your kids, did you let your kids believe in Santa Claus? Did you teach them about Santa, or were you one of those parents who were like, no, I'm not giving any credit to Santa Claus. I'm Santa Claus. Or were you one of those parents? Okay, here's my take. I believed in Santa Claus till I was 12 years old. Pardon me, probably still believes in Santa. We're not going to talk about that. I think that kids should believe in Santa, at least for a portion of their life. I don't agree with those parents who take Santa Claus away, who want to take all of the credit, because it's not about gifts. It's not about, Santa Claus. It's about innocence. There is kids only stay innocent for so long. And Santa Claus is a big part of that. Let them believe something that, you know what I'm saying? To see their face light up. And plus, hey girl, welcome in. We're on the tail end of the podcast, but you can catch the full episode on Friday on all streaming platforms, Nellyville the Podcast. So I just, let them believe, let them be kids. And you can use it as a means to kind of like throughout the year, you can use that to get the kids to behave. Like, oh, don't do that. I'm going to tell Santa. Like, it's an incentive for them to behave well. At least I use that with my students and things. So I don't know. I just don't like I don't like when people, adults or older kids, tell little kids that Santa's not real. What joy do you get out of breaking a child? Like, don't let them believe. If a kid is 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, and they're still believing in Santa, let them. What harm does it do? What harm? I mean, it bothers me. I love for a kid to stay in an innocent place. And I recommend, before we do Music of the Week, I recommend you do an Elf on the Shelf. Now, if you're not familiar with Elf on the Shelf, it is this cute little thing. You get a little elf. It comes with a storybook. There's like a movie and all these things. And the whole thing is, it's supposed to be like this secret magic thing that Santa sent this elf to come and watch over your kid. And so you play like these little games, and like every morning you hide the elf, and like you put the elf on top of the refrigerator or in the window or put him on these different places, and the kid thinks that the elf is moving around by itself, and you don't let the child touch the elf because the elf loses the magic. And it's very cute. It's a good way to get kids to practice good behavior because they're like, oh, your little elf is watching. And then you can write letters that are from the elf to the kid, and it's the cutest thing ever. Like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. I highly recommend. Look, y'all, kids grow up too fast. Has always been that way, especially today. Do things to let them feel like a kid. Let them feel that magic. Let them have an imagination. Don't crush their bubble. It's not fair. It's not right. Just have fun. And Santa doesn't, even if Santa can only afford to bring them one little toy, that kid will be very, very grateful for it. Don't feel like you have to not acknowledge Santa because you feel like you can't afford a certain type of Christmas. That's not a reason to crush a child's spirit. Let them believe for as long as they will believe. And so, yeah, and if you want to do something fun for the family, get the little elf on the shelf. I highly recommend. All right, so let's go ahead and do music of the week. I'm running over a little bit over time. Thank y'all for letting me ramble. Music artist of the week, Megan Thee Stallion, of course. We started with her. We had to end with her. Megan, once again, congratulations on being the first Black woman on Forbes magazine. That is a great honor. I love her music. I love her so much, and this is still only the beginning for her. Whatever's going on with her and Tory Lanez, may they both, God bless them both. You know what I mean? Look, let me know what your favorite Megan Thee Stallion song is. I wish I could talk a little bit more about the music, but I got to get out of here. Y'all done got me over here. DJ Rank, you over here? Boy, whatever. So anyway. Okay, so anyways, that's all that I have for you guys today. Go ahead and listen to Megan Thee Stallion. If you're just tuning in, you can catch the full episode every Friday on Nellyville Podcast on any streaming platform. This is season 4, so you go ahead and binge listen to all of the other episodes that I have for you guys. If you want to be a part of the studio live recordings, listeners, you can tune in every Wednesday on TikTok Live, where I go live with the studio audience and you get first dibs on the tea. Come follow me on all of my other social media, and I can't wait to chat with you again. We only have 3 episodes left, you guys. Get prepared for the holidays. Be safe. Be careful out there. I love you so much. Goodbye.
I'm a savage, classy, bougie, ratchet.